Frank Bowen was doing the best he could raising his two teenage daughters as a single father after his wife passed, leaving him a widower. One night in October of 1986, his oldest daughter, 15-year-old Tina, complained that she heard noises in the wall, sort of a tapping and a scraping. Frank really didn't think much of it. It was October. It was the spooky season. He'd been working late a lot of nights and figured that the girls probably stayed up watching scary movies. He set a few mouse traps just in case, but he figured that was the end of it. It wasn't, of course. Things escalated. Karen, the younger daughter, was the first to see objects move on their own. She always put her doll on the shelf in the corner of the room, along with her other toys. But there it was on her bed. A box of cereal they bought was half empty when they went to eat breakfast in the morning. And TV channels were changing on their own when they left their room. And this was the 80s. This was old school knob television. You had to click it to change the channel. This wasn't the neighbor's remote was the same as yours and it accidentally changed because of the RF signals. The girls thought maybe it was the spirit of their mom trying to communicate with them. At least they hoped it was their mother. It was scaring them, and they really didn't understand why she would do something like that, but it was either that or someone else was haunting their Pepperilla, Massachusetts home. At one point, Tina found pennies scattered across her floor. At another time, someone urinated in the bathtub. And perhaps the scariest moment was when they found the words, "Marry me," sprawled in ketchup on the wall. Frank really felt that it was just the girls messing with one another. To him, it was the only logical explanation. Pranks. It was some sort of game, he thought. And it went on for months. Even when they found the words, "I'm in your bedroom, come find me," sprawled out, Frank was still convinced it had to be the girls. On December 8th, 1986, everything changed. Frank and the girls returned home along with Tina's friend Kathleen, who was there to spend the night. Every television, every radio in the house was on and playing at full volume. Frank started searching room by room, turning things off as he went. The girls clung tightly behind him, moving through the home as one does a haunted house, anticipating something lurking around every corner. When Frank opened a closet, a man stepped out. His face was painted and he was wearing a fringe jacket. His hair was spiked up, and in his right hand he held a hatchet. In his left, a wrench. In a calm, detached voice, he demanded everyone go upstairs. Frank kept himself between the man and the girls. Once everyone was inside the room, he slammed the door shut and barred it closed. Tina rushed to the window, and before her father could stop her, she leapt to the ground below. Quickly, she made her way to the neighbor's house and called the police. When the police arrived, they searched the whole house, but found no sign of an intruder. To make matters worse, they didn't have much to go on. The Bowens described the man as late teens to mid-20s. Black, maybe brown hair. It was hard to tell with all the gel to spike it up. Maybe he had a mustache, but again, the paint kind of obscured all the features. He was wearing gloves, so They didn't get any fingerprints, and the dogs had trouble finding a scent. They walked around the perimeter of the house several times and could find no scent trail leading away. The dogs were given the hatchet and the wrench to smell. Both of those actually belonged to Mr. Bowen. So it's possible the dogs were just smelling Frank. Kathleen went home and Frank took the girls to a hotel. They packed up only the necessities while the police were still there. 2 days later, on December 10th, Frank returned to the house to get some more clothes. As he pulled into the driveway, he caught a glimpse of someone peering out the upstairs window. It was only a moment, but he saw a face, and the blinds continued to sway. This time, Frank was not going to investigate on his own. He thought perhaps it was the police watching the house. He called them before going inside, and yes, they were watching the home, but not from inside. They had a squad parked around the corner. They'd been taking shifts since he left, and they never saw anyone go in or out. Almost immediately, the red and blues pulled up behind Frank's car, and they all went inside. They found a knife stabbed into the family portrait with the words, "I'm still here," written. Again, the police searched the house top to bottom and found nothing. But they refused to give up this time. After hours of searching, they discovered a small opening behind the toilet in the cellar. In a cramped 4-foot by 4-foot triangle was 17-year-old Daniel LaPlante. It was evident that he had been living there for some time. There was clothing and food and personal items packed into his hiding place. As they continued to look around, they found additional spaces in the walls and peepholes throughout the house. The previous year, Daniel had gone on one date with Tina, and he became obsessed with her. Tina was warned by her fellow classmates of LaPlante's criminal past and decided not to pursue the relationship any further. But that's when LaPlante decided to move into the Bowen home so that he could watch her. One night, Daniel was hiding in one of the walls, watching the girls as he saw them using a Ouija board, trying to communicate with their deceased mother. That's when he decided that it would be fun to toy with them. Daniel LaPlante was arrested and spent a month in juvenile detention before his mother mortgaged her home to bail him out. What happened after that is going to be a story for another time.